Insecurity in Nigeria has been lingering for a very long time. That you think insecurity is now a pet. It stays with you for so a very, very long time. And sadly enough, this insecurity in Nigeria is not ending very soon. And I'm going to tell you why in this video. The reason is because why some of us pray, which I like. Nigeria is a very Christian and Muslim community that we love to pray. We love to beg God for things that we can change ourselves. So why some of us pray and why some of us say, I beg, oh, God forbid, it will not happen. The truth is that insecurity in Nigeria have come to stay. And if these things are not tackled, then I'm afraid to say this, it is not ending anytime soon. Now, look at some of the reasons why Nigeria will continue to have insecurity, except the government and the people of Nigeria face it. The first one is poverty and low wages. The minimum wage of Nigeria currently is 77,000 naira. 77,000 naira can barely solve the need of anyone in Nigeria. It is so low. Recently, the house crisis in Nigeria is surging very high. We have reported cases where people are expected to pay 3 years of house rent. That is excluding the legal fees, the agent fees, and the whatever agreement fee, and a whole lot is a law. So people are expected to pay so high for accommodation. We also have areas in Nigeria where people are expected to pay exorbitant amounts of money as house rent yearly. Unlike the UK and the Western world, people are expected to pay 1 year rent, not even 1 month rent. They're expected to pay 1 year rent in advance before they have a roof over their head. Now, there is some argument that people normally do. They say, hey, that if your hand no reach, if you do not have, you are not rich, you should go and stay in the suburban areas, or you should go and stay areas where the rents are low. Now, what you fail to understand is that even in those areas where, what do you call it, where the rents are high, or seemingly the big men in Nigeria are the ones that are supposed to stay in those areas. Those areas also have jobs for minimum wage. For instance, they will have security work there. Those areas also have government parastatals there, in which people that are like cleaners, people that are doing the low jobs, the low paying jobs, are also employed in that government parastatals. So if those ones are working, say, in those areas, in those tush or posh areas, and they have to go and live in the suburban areas or the rural areas, they face another thing, which is transportation. They need to be transporting themselves to work every day. Some of our cities have a whole lot of traffic, meaning that if they want to get to work, they have to leave their house as early as 4 a.m. in the morning in order for them to go and get to work. They don't see their children wake up, and before they come back from work, their children are already asleep, because it will take them another 4 hours on the traffic before they get home. So they don't see their children go to school, and they don't even see their children when they come back at home. And that is the hustle that have made so many people to tire. They are born out. Minimum wage is nearly enough for people in Nigeria. Many jobs in Nigeria also pay less than the official minimum wage as I'm talking to you. The private sector in Nigeria is scavenging. They are trying to survive with a whole lot of taxation, and even the ones that is coming up in 2026 by the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Private sectors in Nigeria are struggling so hard in order for them to survive what is going on. This drives frustration. This drives crime. This drives desperation among the youth. The youth are thinking, how can I survive this? The landlord are saying, bring money, bring money. I do not want a Yahoo boy. I do not want someone that is into fraud. But when you critically think about it, the situation is made in a way that you have to even do the fraud or whatever in order to survive. This is not me justifying crime or anything, but this is me telling Nigeria that, see, we really need to look at minimum wage. To draw a close on this point of minimum wage, I will draw a little analysis with what we have here in the UK. In the UK, for you to survive here, all you really need is to get a job. Now, when we say get a job, we are not talking about get a doctor job, get a nursing job, get a job in the IT, get a job in the any job. Any job that you get in this country, after 1 month, is going to pay your house rent. Any job you get in this country and work 1 month, 1 full month, full time, is going to pay your house rent. It's going to pay your transportation. It's going to pay for your feeding. It's going to pay for some other expenses like your council tax, and you will still be able to save £500. Except you don't know what you are doing. If you are doing, even if it is a minimum wage job, you can be able to save £500 at the end of the month if you really know what you are doing and you are financially prudent. But in Nigeria, the minimum wage of 77,000 naira is not even up to the price of a roasted corn, not to talk about using it for house rent or using it for anything. Now, the second reason why insecurity won't end in Nigeria is our neglect of agriculture. Agriculture was once Nigeria's strength. Now agriculture is ignored. Rural farmers in Nigeria face insecurity. Insecurity is on the high every day in rural farmer. Go to Benue State. I have keep on shouting about this thing. I have keep on using my voice to talk about these things to the government. The government aren't listening. The government are not listening to us. Our farmers in rural Nigeria are crying. Most of these farmers in the middle belt where food is are also Christians. So when this insecurity ravage their community, fair enough, it can now be turned into a genocide. Some people will not assume that, see, there is a plan to wipe out the Christian community. Because if you look at it, Benue State is a Christian community. Plateau State is a Christian community. Taraba is a Christian community. Most part of Nasarawa State, where they grow food, are Christian communities. These communities have continued to be rampant or they have continued to have issues every day. The government are not doing anything about it. Insecurity will continue to increase because the youth in those communities will run away from their villages and they will go to the urban areas. And what do you think they will do in the urban area? With no skills in their hand, these youth will now resort back to crime. They will now resort back to taking arms and they will start kidnapping, they will start armed robbery, they will start raping our children, they will start raping our sisters, our mothers. Our females are not safe. They are not safe in the city. What about lack of support? The government gives them no support. The government only remembers this rural Nigeria only when there is election. Let me tell you the truth. A typical rural area in Nigeria do not know what is electricity and they do not care. These ones, they provide electricity for themselves. They gather money. One of them that maybe is now becoming rich in their own village richness will now go and buy a generator. And he will use the generator to open a business where people will be charging their phones or whatever gadget that they need that need to be charged. Some of these rural Nigeria guys have saved up money and now installing solar energy. They have no amenities. They have no infrastructure. They have no schools. They have no hospitals. They have no access to quality water. Some of these people still drink water from the stream. This stream water is giving them river blindness, is giving them typhoid, is giving them cholera, is giving them a whole lot of things. The rural Nigeria is crying for our help, but the government is only after the next election. The government is only after what is it that we are going to get in the next election. 2027 is still far, but before the beginning of this year, the government have already started campaigning for 2027. It is a shame. The youth are discouraged from farming activities due to lack of incentive. There is no incentive from the youth. Even the youth that are in the urban areas have zero incentives from the government. When my farm failed, I tried all my best to get the government to start up my farm again. I visited Bank of Industry in Makurdi. I visited what do you call the NISAL in Lafia, their CBN office there in Lafia. I visited EcoBank. They joined me with EcoBank for a tripartite loan. At the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. They did not give me nothing. I made a whole lot of applications, but nothing come out of it. There is no incentive. Now we have started our farm again. We have over 12,000 catfish. We are receiving 4,500 catfish this week. That will push our catfish to 16,500 catfish. Our sales of catfish have already started this November. So we'll be selling 1,000 kilo of catfish. That is 1 ton every 4th week. That is every two weeks. That is what we'll be selling. So we are expecting a revenue of 7 million naira monthly from the catfish from November. This will increase from January to about 10 million naira to 15 million naira. So the government are not giving incentive. Even with this effort that I am making, or the youths are making, to make sure that agriculture work. Because when agriculture work, security will work. People will be gainfully employed. And agriculture is the unfair advantage that we Nigerians have over other countries. We have arable lands, we have natural mineral resources in our land. Nigeria should be the richest country in the world with what we have. But what are we seeing? We are seeing neglect everywhere. Now, the last thing that is happening within our insecurity is politicians. The politicians, they use talks for election. During election, politicians arm and empower talks for campaign. It is a shame that it is only in Nigeria that you'll be hearing politicians making remarks that they are going to install governors. Yaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State, installed a governor. He installed the governor, and when the law was looking for him, when EFCC was looking for him, what did he do? A governor sitting with immunity used his immunity to shield Yaya Bello from being arrested by EFCC. He used his immunity to shield a governor that have lost his own immunity, and we cannot call their names. There is nothing that the Nigerian government can do to a sitting governor using immunity to shade someone that have questions to answer from the law enforcement area. Yaya Bello made a remark and said that he is the one that just installed this governor, and when this governor is done in his 8 years, that he is going to install another governor to continue from where they stop. Now look at our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you look at the history of President Tinubu, you see that Tinubu is the one that has been installing governors in Lagos. With the way Nigeria is going, Nigeria is gradually going into a one-party system. That means very soon, Godfatherism will continue. They will continue to install president, install governors, install senators, not the will of the people. That means election is not conducted in Nigeria. What is really conducted in Nigeria is selection. That is what people have, selection. And now when you arm these talks are the ones that are going to help you to select the people you want and put them in seat. So when you arm them, what happened? After election, these thugs are abandoned. They are no longer cared for. And these thugs will now turn to crime and violence. You cannot expect someone that have AK, someone that has ammunition, for him to stop after election. He have to continue to eat. Igbo people normally say that onu riwego eriwego. So a mouth that have already started to eat, have already started to eat. It is a crime to tell that mouth to stop eating. So the cycle continues. Every election fuels more insecurity. Every election fuels more insecurity. Every time 2027 will come, and with the way the government are trying all their best in order to maintain power, and with the way opposition are trying all their best in order to come into power, this is not going to end soon. This is not going to end soon. So we need to work about this. And if we do not do it, I'm afraid to say, insecurity will never end in Nigeria. My name is Simeon Odii. They call me Sure Boy. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notification so that you receive more content from us. Until I come your way again, this is Sure Boy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.